I've seen certain reactions and things that demons have done that lead me to believe that they're not completely evil. And they're not the smartest, so if fallen angels and the devil weren't telling them what to do, they could have lived a completely different life path. And I'll just give you guys a few examples. But first, they were not created the way that humans or angels were, where we have a connection to God and to Source. So because they were an unholy, ungodly hybrid, then they did not have this connection to God, and God is love and creativity. So these things don't come natural. So I'm not saying that they are ever going to be the level of a human, or an angel could be, but they're not inherently evil. But they fall under the mindset of survival of the fittest. And so we were always told in school that humans and life forms evolved to live by survival of the fittest. And if you look around, you'll see that that's actually the opposite way that humans live. We do not live by survival of the fittest. We take care of our disabled, and we sacrifice our own lives to take care of others. We take care of babies. We take care of autistic people. We take care of the handicapped. We don't murder them. This is seen all throughout human societies. And in some cultures, they're even worshipped, which is ridiculous. But humans do not live by survival of the fittest. But this is more the mentality that a demon would have. So what a demon is a demon is a hybrid angel-animal. So having a different number of chromosomes, there's certain things that naturally cannot happen, but the angels had angel technology. They were also given the ability to design us, and design other creations. God actually gifted the angels with quite a bit. So it is rather silly that they were so jealous of us simply because we could have children. And that's the one thing they longed for and wanted so much that despite the punishment, a third of the angels decided to create their own children. Even knowing the consequences, they were told what would happen if they had children with human women. They would go to the worst part of hell, be chained up, bound and chained, until the end of the age. And they would watch their children murder each other. So this definitely was a very strict punishment. But the desire to have children was so strong that these angels risked it anyways. So we have Nephilim and we have demons, and these are both ungodly hybrids. And they both survive by the mentality of survival of the fittest, the way that we're told us humans live by, but we do not. And so they're simply a being. It doesn't have the mental capacity of us humans, but they can logically think. They don't have the same creativity, they don't have empathy or love, but they're not inherently evil. And so a demon is half angel and half animal. And so you see a pet dog and you see it has love, as God has made it with the ability to love. But when you combine an angel and an animal, and God did not create this, then it does not have a connection to God because God did not directly create it. It was like hijacked. But a dog can't speak, and it can't write stories, and it can't write poems and poetry. So let's say that angel intelligence is maybe comparable to humans, but the mind would be more like a calculator, or in the spirit realm where it can hold infinite amounts of information. But they can logically deduce and they can think, and I would say maybe this is similar to a human. So a demon is half animal and half angel. So now consider mentally where it is. And it doesn't empathize. It doesn't have compassion. So it doesn't necessarily want to go out and murder and torture and steal, but it doesn't love. So it might be neutral. It might be in the middle, and it lives by their survival of the fittest mentality. A Nephilim is more intelligent, but likewise, does not have love, and it does not have the ability to empathize, does not have compassion, does not have a connection to God. A Nephilim is half angel and half human. Now this being is more intelligent. Now, these creatures come after us and attack us, not because they themselves necessarily want to, but their parents are fallen angels, which are evil, have been damned to hell, and are being punished by God, and they're very angry with God. And so their parents tell them that we're the enemy. Their parents send their children out to attack us, even knowing that that's going to lead to the damnation of their own children. They don't care. It's very sad. So, a couple of times I witnessed the reaction of the demons, and it was not purely evil. I could tell they were on assignment. So, one of the demons that I've been dealing with in the discard phase, when I showed up at my old house, it was just like, attack, 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 attack. Like, you did this, you did that, why'd you do this, why'd you take that, why'd you steal this? And it was like non-stop barrage of like insults and accusations. And I laughed at them, I kind of made fun of them, and I didn't directly answer or admit to anything, because I'm sure they were recording it. But they were just following me around, like launching their verbal attacks. And I had been dealing with this for months. I knew how to handle it. As you kind of make a joke, you're like, oh, you act like my mom. Like, or chill out. Chill out, dude. You know, you just tell them stuff like that. And this disarms them. And they actually don't know how to react. So, the narcissist kept accusing, but I was at the house for like several hours. And after a couple of hours, they ran out of attacks. They didn't have anything else to say, and they stood there, and they couldn't think of anything to say, and they were so confused, like, they didn't know how to get me. And they just, like, after they ran out of attacks, and we were both out front of the house, outside, and I think I was putting something in a tub or bringing something to my van, and then the narc, it just sat there like this. And it didn't look evil. It didn't look mean. It was like confused and kind of sad, like nothing I'm doing is working, and it just ran out of attacks, and then it just stood there like what do I do? It was quite cute. It was almost the look of like a sad puppy. And another thing that I noticed was some of the demons and the narcissist, I do believe, are half dog. Half angel and half dog. And the angels do, some of them do look similar to humans. So imagine your Looney Tunes cartoons. Once again, they make these cartoons to show us what actually exists. But if they are half animal and half angel, then they like the animals. They don't have the ability to love, but they kind of view them as like distant relatives. And so they really get confused when they see an animal loving a human who they're told is their enemy and is so bad. So like, one thing I noticed repeatedly, when the demons and the narcissist, there were all different demons, and a different one would attack me every week or twice a week. A different demon would hop in that body and attack me, and I could discern which spirit this was. I could see their countenance, their facial expressions, and the way they truly felt, because they can't hide how they feel. And so I would be full of so much love, especially when I got up and then my dogs would come and they'd swarm me with their love, and it'd be just like a big love fest. Okay, and the narc, the different demons, all of them were the same. And they would be like, they'd be like 15 feet away, like looking. And you see this look on my face now, kind of like this expression. And they were confused. Like, the dogs love this human, and this human loves the dogs. And I'm half animal. And they were like trying to think, and they were kind of confused, like, is this really my enemy? I could see the demons thinking this. But unfortunately, they do have to do what the fallen angels say. The fallen angels have control over them and punish them likewise. But I saw they were given a mission, they were given something to do, they followed their orders, they attacked, and then just so much time passed that they ran out of attacks, and then they stood there like, kind of like with sad eyes, like, what do I do? You know, it kind of looked cute. And then they would be like so confused when they saw me loving the dogs and the dogs loving me. They'd be like, they didn't know what to do, because this went against what they were told about us. And I could tell at that point that the demon did not want to attack me, but they do have to. The fallen angels, Lucifer, can pull those demons back into hell and put them in chains. They're not free agents. So it is quite sad. And if you've ever seen a dog, and the dog looks sad, okay, this is the same expression the demons will get. And I don't want you guys to feel bad for them, okay? Because they're never going to help you. If they do, it's for an ulterior motive, and it's ultimately to hurt you, and they're tricking you. They're never going to actually care about you. They don't have that ability. So you need to protect yourself and stand back. But I do see how they weren't purely evil. But they live by survival of the fittest, and they do have to survive themselves. And when their masters and when their parents tell them to come after us, then they really have no choice. And so they're going to do that. And they're also, like, the demons are not smart enough. They're not as smart as humans. They're not smart enough to do anything else, to think outside the box, to even have the idea that maybe they shouldn't attack us. They wouldn't know how to react to that, because they're half animal. Animals can't think of complex things like that. They're not humans. They weren't made with the capacity to do that, because when they die, they go straight to heaven. We were given free will. They don't have free will. So they can't have that same level of logical thinking and reasoning. And so it is cute. They are kind of cute, but they're highly dangerous, because they are told we are their enemy. They are sent out to attack us. And God actually uses them to strengthen us and refine us. So don't feel bad for them, but just maybe spread a little bit more understanding about these creatures. Is that the true evil are the fallen angels, not the demons themselves. The demons, they're low IQ. Maybe they have a calculator type thinking. They don't have the type of reasoning and logic that a human does. They're told what to do by pure evil. They're the henchmen. If you've seen cartoons where there's a boss villain, and then there's the little henchman monsters that are dumb. The little henchman monsters are demons, and the head villain is the fallen angel. And so no matter what you do, they're going to be against you. But I actually do feel compassion for them, even though they have the inability to feel compassion for me. Thanks for watching, and God bless you guys.